Hey, lifewithabox here, coming to you with another video. So today I've got this product by URVOLAX. It's a 12-inch mirror dash cam, and unlike the normal ones that you've seen all over the internet, this one actually has as you can see here, a separate detachable front camera. And as you can know, this is very important because most of them have been always just attached to the mirror and giving you this weird angle, right? And of course, it's also got a rear camera, as you can see right here. And because of the front camera, as you can see in this split view, you have a very clear view of the front and of course the back. So check out this video and hope you guys like it. So one thing that really stands out with its design is that the end angles downwards as opposed to the other ones where they're always upwards facing. So I think with this design, it actually clears the window visors a little more easily. Okay, so in the first bag, we've got the front camera. And here is the rear camera. We've got the power adapter. It uses a mini USB. And here is the GPS antenna. Got some cable management things. And this is the cable you will connect the rear and front camera to the mirror dash. It uses a USB-C plug. Here are the mounting brackets. And we've got the long, I think it's 33 feet of wire that connects from the mirror to the rear camera. That's just the plug it uses for your own reference. It's not RCA. So here's a screen, cloth cleaner, and a pry tool. Comes with instruction manual. And it also comes with these two films that's supposed to reduce the reflection from the sun. Alright, so now we're going to get into details of installing this mirror dash camera. So taking a look at the unit here, we've got one button here. This actually turns on and off the screen. And then you've got the audio video input, we've got the GPS input, and we've got a micro SD card along with the power. So the micro SD card, it does come with a 32 gig micro SD card. And on the back, we've got a speaker there. Everything's plastic. I've got the nice little design here. And then here are the brackets to hold it in. As you can see, the screen is actually very thin. Check it out on the other end. So as you can see, this is the original OEM mirror from my car, and it's not very clear. So if we put this big one on, as you can see, wow, even just the mirror alone, big difference. And now let's install it. It comes with these little rubber mounts, and it just kind of clips over like that. And this is how it looks like. So what you're going to do now is plug in the audio video cable. Here it says a Type-C, it's a USB Type-C, and it's specifically said in red to connect it from the left side, which I am going to do, just like that. And here's the rear view camera. And what I'm going to do now is just plug that in, and we're going to do a bench test. So you always want to test everything first before you run all the cables and install everything. So here I am. Here is the 33 feet of cable that will eventually be wired and hidden, tucked into the back. But again, before that, let's plug it in and make sure everything is working. Okay, now we're going to connect the front camera. Here is the front camera. And as you can see here, it is adjustable to adjust the angle. And we're going to plug this in to the other socket. Okay, so now both are plugged in. Okay, so we have the power plugged in, we've got the GPS, and we've got the cameras plugged in along with the SD card. Let's turn on the car and see to make sure everything's working. Perfect. Let's turn it on and let's take off the protective screen protector. Testing the rear camera. So on the mirror here you have a compass and your current speed. The speed is directly from the GPS, and you've got your clock, your date, and a little bit of your current settings. Here with this button you can toggle between the two cameras. So here we have one of the cameras with the front camera. You can see here it compensates for the exposure. And now I'm going to mount the front camera right there. So before that, let's just make sure it's clean in this area before we stick it on. Here it is, stuck onto the front windshield. And here I am adjusting the angle of the camera to get the optimal position. This looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm just going to go over how to run the wires. So you got to run a wire through this tube here. Pretty much every car has it if you want a super clean install, okay? I fed a wire through here originally, so it'll be a lot easier just to fish it through. So, okay, we've got these two wires here coming out from the camera. And what you're going to do is wrap it around the front. Like, this is to bring the rear view camera wire to the back of the car. And then you're gonna strip down this seal that every car has. You just pull it down, and there's a little gap in there, and you're gonna feed that wire through here, and then across your pillars, and then into the next set of doors. If you have 4 doors, you feed it through that gap, and then along the next pillar, there's always a gap that you can just kind of squeeze the cable into, and then eventually you'll make yourself, to the rear little window here, and you just kind of feed it through another pillar in the back, and then you would feed one cable down to get power from the reverse light. Okay, and then the camera signal will go through here, through that really tight tube, and connect to the rear view camera. Okay, so I've gone ahead and started wiring tucking the cables in. Here, as you can see, it's between the windshield and the roof liner. And you just basically tuck it in. There's a little bit of pressure, but then it just pops right in, and it doesn't really come back out. You can do that here, and then along the gap through the pillar, and then through the gap through the door and the seal, and just kind of push that back in. And you're going to run it through here, and then the cable will just kind of come through and just feed it through the gap as such. Okay, so now we've come to the hard part where we're going to try to fit the AV huge plug through this tube here. I mean, again, if you want a super clean install, you would want to do it this route. So what I'm going to do is feed that through here and then connect it to the rear view camera. Okay, so what I'm going to do is basically, I've fed a small cable through in the beginning, and I'm just going to fish it through, and I've taped it to that here. As you can see, I'm just going to pull it one end and just kind of fish that huge plug through. And here I am, I've started, and let's see, it's gonna be tough, but for a super clean install, this is kind of what you're gonna have to do. All right, so I've got it through. It's kind of somewhere in the middle now, in here, between all these wires, and pretty much 15 minutes later, I was able to get it through. It wasn't easy, it was kind of tough, a lot of wiggling, but again, if you want a super clean install, this is what you'd have to do. And I was able to fit it through. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna do is just kind of close that up, plug it up for a super clean look. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna do is wire the reverse power cable to your reverse light. So this is the cable that's coming from the supplied cable, and then this blue wire I've attached to the power to that comes from the rear light bulb. Okay, so just finished wiring that together and then connected the rear camera. I'm just going to do another test here before I close everything up. Just start the car, and boom, we're in business. That is the current view of the rear camera. And if I just tap here, I have the view of the front camera, which I just previously installed. And then again, we have the dual view. Very nice. And then now that's working, we're going to install the mount to hook up the rear camera. So this is what it looks like after you put the screw and the washer through. Okay, so what I've done was I just used the 3M tape and attached that. So there's some residue there, that's just from my old camera, you can ignore that. So once you find the right angle, you would just use a screwdriver and screw and tighten those two screws. And this is how it looks like now completed behind the rear glass. Alright, so now that everything is wired up and installed, I'm just going to do another test here. So here's the rear view look, and now when I flip into reverse, now it's sending power from that blue wire I originally had to the camera, and it knows it and it puts into reverse mode, which is this. It just kind of aims it lower, right? So this would be regular drive mode. And now if I swap it, you can see, of course, the front view. And then one more time does a dual mode. Very nice. So you can see the image is very sharp. Dual mode also gives you a wider view. Now we're going to switch it back to the rear view. Okay, so here I am testing the voice command feature. Show front camera. Show rear camera. Show both cameras. So this mirror dashcam does not include a Wi-Fi feature, so how you're going to grab these footage is basically grab the micro SD card and bring it to your computer. Once you load up the card, it shows up 3 folders. So the first folder is called Event, and basically anytime the camera receives a shock or a bump, that will trigger a file to be saved into that event folder. The next one will be normal, so anytime it was just normal driving, it'll be recorded in that folder. And then you can also choose to take a photo, and of course that will be in the photo folder. Now once you open the normal folder, for example, it's going to show 2 folders, F and R. F meaning the front view camera, and the R meaning rear view camera. And once you open those, it'll show you a whole list of all your saved video files. So here's some actual driving footage that I recorded, and just kind of give you an idea of the quality of the camera. So this is the morning. Here's an example of a shot with the sun kind of shining into the lens. Now here's the back view, also very clear. And then this is more of a sunset time. Again, still very clear. Alright, so now we're doing a night shot view, and I noticed it was aimed a little too low, so here I am just adjusting the angle of the camera because it does come with the swivel, and this is a nice feature to have. So here it is, nighttime driving shots. Again, very clear. So you can see once it gets to the darker sections, it does auto fix the exposure. So here we are coming up to a light, you see it starts dimming, and then when it gets dark, it slowly brightens the exposure. So again, very clear image at night, very bright. Alright, so that concludes the review of this URVOLAX 12-inch mirror dash camera. I've used it for about 2 weeks now, and I can honestly say that it's been a great product to use. No issues at all. Having that detached front lens as you can see here, is really a game changer. Like if you want the best view, yet you still want to have a mirror dash cam, then this is pretty much the only one on the market that's available that you can purchase. And of course it comes with that rear camera. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below and I'll try to answer you. If you want to also purchase this product, I will leave that link below in the video as well. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.